Motivation, motivation, you can do more and better. Motivation, you can.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Level Up Daily, the podcast where we build our best selves one day at a time. I'm your host, Zach, someone who is currently training to run the 2027 Kyoto Marathon, chasing big dreams, and leveling up in other areas like learning Japanese.
And I'm Josh, currently an automotive student and learning to work on cars to eventually be able to own my own company and be able to help others who need help with their own vehicles.
If you've ever had a goal in life or a dream that keeps calling you, then this show is just for you. Every Monday, we will talk real stories, practice mindset shifts, and actionable steps to keep you moving forward. And today, guys, we have a very big topic. We are going to be talking about how discipline is better than motivation. It's discipline over motivation, guys. So the first thing I want to do is I want to ask you, what does discipline mean to you and what does motivation mean to you? Because I realized in the last episode, you didn't talk that much. It was mostly me. And I want to get you talking in this episode a lot more.
Well, personally, as you know, I'm usually a pretty observant type person, but as far as discipline over motivation goes, for me, my definition of discipline is just doing what you know you need to do, even though you don't want to do it, and just being able to overcome all those, obstacles that would cause you to not want to do something, even though you know it's good for you, whether that be going to the gym when you want to go to sleep or eating a healthier diet when you know you just want to eat the junk that's easier to come across because you don't feel like cooking, or just walking somewhere that you could drive to faster but would benefit from walking because of what traffic may bring, and just overall doing what is probably the thing you hate the most but has got the best end results. And as far as motivation goes, I believe motivation is just the thing that gives you the strength to do something, regardless if you want to do it or if you don't want to do it. Just something that makes you feel more energized to do that thing, compared to discipline, which is not really having the energy at times and still doing it anyways, which I guess can go hand in hand. But discipline is just something you do at all costs, and motivation is just something you get in order to want to do something or have a goal to reach from doing that thing.
So to sum it up, guys, this is what I have, and it's basically on the same wavelength as you. So that's actually interesting. I thought you were going to have the complete opposite mindset than me, but we are kind of on the same page already. Motivation, the ability to want to do something. Discipline, the need to do something. And that's literally what I wrote down. So when you said discipline is something you need to do as opposed to want to do, I was like, that's actually exactly what I wrote down. So we're on the same page when it comes to what the definitions are. Now, why does motivation fade, guys? It is because it's the ability that you want to do it. You're not always going to want to go to the gym. And that's like the example I'm using right now. Like, motivation's going to fade over time. There are days when I wake up and I don't want to go to the gym, guys. And I have to tell myself I need to go to the gym. And that's the difference between motivation and discipline. And motivation high is when you really are motivated, like you really want to do something. Like when you're motivated, you're waking up and you want to just run out the door, go to the gym, or you want to go to work, or you want to reach that goal that you're trying to reach to. But motivation low, guys, you don't want to do it. So this can be like anything, guys. Running, weightlifting, making content, ice baths, going to a regular job, guys. Your motivation's not always going to be high. There's going to be days when you want to take the easy way out. And that's where discipline steps in. You need to do something. And you need to switch your mindset in order for you to keep going when you don't feel like you want to do it. Like the other day, guys, I didn't want to take an ice bath, but I told myself I have to. Like I gave myself no choice. And when you have no choice, you're forced to do these things like running or going to the gym. Heck, it could even be like keeping a relationship in your life, guys. Like even relationships are work. And this is something that not a lot of people talk about, but a lot of reasons that real like relationships don't last nowadays is because people aren't disciplined. The just using lust and, you know, using emotions too much. And if you really do love someone, you'll be able to stay with that person forever and you'll be able to work through any problem. But the thing is, people aren't motivated enough to want to keep that relationship, so they take the easy way out. And that's why we see a lot of love failing in this day and age. So in my life, guys, this is my daily schedule as of the moment right now. And my discipline mindset is what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. I get up at 3 a.m., guys. I'm at the gym at 4 a.m. And then I go to work, then I come home, and then I do my regular stuff. But there was a time, guys, when I was working 2 jobs and I was still waking up at 3 a.m., going to the gym, going to work, having a 1-hour break, and I was going to work again. And I did this 4 times a week. So I only gave myself 3 days off, basically, for my second job. And I had 2 days off from both jobs. And it's not motivation that keeps you going when you're living a lifestyle like that. And this guy, he's done it too, guys. He's worked 2 jobs before, so he knows what it's like to be on that grind time. And it's not easy. Do you have anything you want to talk about doing your 2 job era?
Yeah, so during my run of doing 2 jobs, unluckily to me, luckily for me, both the jobs I was working were within walking distance, but unluckily to me, it was the fact that I was only walking to them. So I would get up at 5 or 6 for a job that I didn't do until 9 a.m. And then after that, I would walk to my other job and be on my feet even longer, and then have to walk all the way home, which was further from my other job. So it was like I was basically on my feet for almost a 24-hour period because, well, not even 24, for almost 14 hours, because I would get up and maybe lay in my bed for maybe an hour.
Well, let's see. You were working from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So
Well,
that's
yeah.
already 13 hours on your feet. But you also had to walk to the first job and walk home. So you were probably on your feet for about 18 hours, realistically.
And luckily I did get good sleep, there is that benefit, but, having a car definitely would have made a difference. And on top of that, I was just waiting for school because this was before I was enrolled into college. So it was just a matter of trying to keep myself busy while making time go by faster. And yeah, it was a fun run, but not a run for the week. And I wouldn't recommend it unless you definitely had to do it. And if you do, just, pace yourself and know that it's gonna wear you down quickly. And you just gotta know to, eat timely and try not to eat something that's gonna make you tired, because you're gonna be on your feet regardless if you want to or not.
I definitely recommend meal prepping when working 2 jobs just because it makes it easier and it saves you money. Because eating out every day is definitely costly, and also it's not healthy at all, guys. You will gain weight real fast. You will realize that going to the gym and going to 2 jobs at the same time, you are gonna have to cut down on the gym a little bit. I was only going like 4 times a week instead of 5 or 6 times, which I normally do. So I had to cut my gym schedule as well while working 2 jobs. And I did that during both my runs, guys. And how about school? You have to stay disciplined when it comes to learning something, because if you're motivated in school, that's one thing. But what happens when you don't feel like studying or you don't feel like showing up to school? Because college is a whole different ballgame than high school. If you miss college, they ain't gonna come to get you. They're not gonna show up at your house and say, hey, you missed 5 classes, we're gonna force you to go. They'll just drop you from the class, basically, from what I understand.
And that is very true. A lot of, especially with the major I'm taking, which is automotive, those teachers are very, very strict, to the point where if you have 2 absences, you're just dropped after the 3rd. Like, you don't get any other chances. Like, the general ed classes are lenient with being 5 or whatever. But, like, I know people who were in my major who changed majors just because they couldn't handle the workload and the patience and all the work that came with it, and only a certain few actually pulled through, and I'm still one of them. Like, they're always adding classes, unfortunately, which is making it take longer, but like having the discipline to go to class, get up early, get there early, because some teachers will mark you if you're even a minute late, and having to get up early is not the most fun, but it's what I got to do, doing my homework before it's due. Another thing I recommend that I do if you're in a college that allows you to work ahead is to work ahead, because I got the leniency of automotive being one of those majors where the teacher will tell you the homework for the entire semester and you're free to do all of it at your pace. But if you want to work ahead, they highly recommend it, because after a certain amount of days, the workload in class can be more strenuous than the time you have outside of it. So it's definitely recommended to work ahead, and that's what I did. And it got me a lot of respect by others who usually would never do that, because I was always ahead of the game and always liked to be ahead of everything in case something did happen. It wouldn't fall back on me in a way where I couldn't catch up. And just, having the habit of always knocking out what is a priority and saving your pleasures for last. I always tell myself priorities over pleasures. A priority would be going to work, getting homework done, paying bills. A pleasure would be playing games, laying down, going for a walk, stuff that you don't have to do, but you enjoy doing is a pleasure that you guys, should consider as something you do as a reward for the prioritizing the priority that you must do.
Definitely, I agree with that. Like, you don't want to fall behind. Staying ahead is actually something that you definitely want to do as well. If you can control a situation, like if you have a choice between staying ahead or just doing bare minimum, you definitely want to be staying ahead, because you don't know what that next person beside you is doing. And it's a competition. Everything in life, guys, everything in life is a competition. If you're not going and giving it 100% and the person next to you is, that person's going to outshine you. And it's only a matter of time before that person passes you up, and you're going to be like, how did this person pass me up? And how did this person end up ahead of me? It's because they put in more work than you. And The Rock's always saying that you want to be the hardest worker in the room. And I genuinely do believe that. Like, when you enter the room, you should be the hardest worker there. Nobody else should be working harder than you, in my opinion, if you want to actually make it in 2026. Whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be just a side mission that you're trying to do in your life, guys, which that's my last topic I want to talk about. My side mission right now, I'm running a marathon next year, guys. Training for the marathon, guys, is something that you need to be disciplined for. You don't want to fall behind when it comes to running. You got to be training yourself up for it. And I've been training for a while, so I can do double-digit miles, but you definitely don't want to take any off days. You want to be running at least 3 times a week, and you want to be doing a little bit of both. You want to be doing small runs, and you want to do big runs as well. My big runs, I usually just do those on Saturdays to give myself time to rest after, because I don't work Saturdays. But yesterday, guys, I ran 5 miles with a weighted vest just to challenge myself. And I haven't done that in a very long time. And in mile run, guys, I was like, man, I'm kind of already out of breath and I'm already exhausted. And I even woke up today sore, because I was like, man, that weighted vest, guys, I felt it in my shoulders and stuff. I was like, I work out so much, I don't really get sore. So the fact that I got sore, I was like, that workout was much needed, guys. And you need to stay disciplined, because when you're running, yeah, you might get that runner's high during the first 2-3 miles. But when mile 11 hits, in my last long run, I was like, man, I want to give up. I want to stop now. But I told myself, no, I'm doing a 15-mile run today. So I had to keep pushing for that 4 miles, guys. And a lot of people that run marathons, they don't finish. They end up stopping at the 20-mile mark, which is only 6 miles short from actually completing the marathon. But lots of runners say it's always that last stretch that's the toughest to run. It's that last 1 hour mark that always gets the runners, because it's like they're so close, and you have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? And you have to remember that if it was easy, everybody would be able to do it, and not many people can do marathons, and that's because you have to be real disciplined to be able to complete the marathon, guys. And it is all about that discipline mindset, guys. I'm gonna let Josh lead his topic for the next half of the video, guys.
All right. So, topic number 2 is going to tie into both discipline and motivation, as well as to piggyback off our last podcast, which we were ending off talking about pessimism versus optimism, which, if you don't know, pessimism is thinking glass half empty, if you know what that means, versus optimism, which is thinking glass half full, which ties perfectly into this topic because having the mindset to think life in a positive manner is something that takes discipline, especially if you had some humble beginnings where life was giving you a bad hand and you always had to, stick around unhealthy mindseted people and negative influences and never knew that there was a positive way to think about every situation because you were so surrounded by negative minded people and never really was able to comprehend what good and bad was. You just knew how to adapt to your surroundings. But as a kid, I obviously never knew that there was a good out of everything in life. I just know as a kid I wanted more, and I also didn't know about the situations that other people were in because I thought I had it bad growing around people that had it way better than me, thinking I had it the worst that anyone could ever have. But later on in life, I met people who actually had it way worse, and it really made me start thinking about how I viewed life, because it really can be worse if you just let yourself be, not disciplined and just let the little motivations, make you happy instead of constantly being disciplined to think positive things about everything. It is not easy to be someone that can see the positive out of everything, especially if you have a traumatic life or a traumatic childhood like I have. It's something you have to adapt and force yourself to remember and be very disciplined about keeping yourself in that light, because there are a lot of people, including myself, who've been in some very dark times in life and who others may have not gotten the opportunity to see the positive in life because of how hard their life may have been and the route they took. But God watched over me and gave me the strength to overcome all of these obstacles and gave me the strength to be able to see life in a much more brighter manner than what I once was seeing it in. And because of that, I was able to not only understand the people who were in them circumstances, but also be able to sympathize and know how to see things in a brighter manner than when I was in those dark times. Because when you're in a dark place, it's really hard to get out of if you don't try to change it. And being in the situation that I was in, where you really didn't have an outlet, but you also did, but you didn't see them as often as you should have, it was not easy. And another thing that I also had to learn was a lot of stuff in life can be done on your own will. If you really want something to change that's in your power, you can do it. I really hated medication and I took it anyway. And when I was able to not take it, I stopped, because that stuff was just making me tired and I hated that feeling, especially when I had a bunch of energy early in the morning. And
you should definitely tell them what the medication was for, because if you don't tell them what it's for, they're gonna be like, what medication is he talking about?
Okay, so back then I was taking medication for depression, anxiety, and anger issues.
Which all these things can be fixed without medication, guys. If you really do discipline your body, this guy actually cured himself from all those things just by like walking more, being in nature, and just praying to God and strengthening his relationship with God. That stuff is what got him to really overcome all those things. It wasn't medication. So we're not doctors, we're not telling you not to take medications, but we are telling you that it is possible to like get off of a medication if that's something that you want to look towards.
Yeah, I agree. A big help to me was God himself. He, was someone in my life ever since I was a kid. But, when you're a kid, you're just oblivious to everything. You only want to believe what you believe in. But as you grow older, you start to understand what your parents tell you. And as I got older and started to put more faith into God and reading my Bible and praying, it really did like open my eyes and give me the strength I needed to, stop medication cold turkey, stop going to therapy cold turkey, and just being, gaining the strength to overcome these emotions without the use of outside sources that weren't really helping, which I'll admit, therapy does help a lot. A lot of people overlook it, but it really does help if you really like.
It helps depending on the person. It didn't help him, but it might help someone.
It did. It helped me.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it didn't help you.
No. I'm saying it because a lot of people always say therapy won't help them, but never tried to find out, or if they did it for such a short time that the results weren't going to be there. Like in life, you also learn that not everything happens in a day. Like you got to let things last to see the results over time.
That's where the discipline really does come in, guys, is when you don't see the result right away. Like that's when you realize like I really do have to be disciplined. I really do have to stick to this if I want to see a result. And that's why a lot of people quit when they don't see a result within a week, because we live in a time when you can go on your phone right now, you can order something, you can have it same day shipping, maybe even the next day if you can't get it today. And it kind of ruins a lot of like people's mindsets when it comes to like therapy, for example. When you can't just go to one session and then, oh, well, now you're fixed. That's not how it works, guys. You have to really grow as a person. And they'll tell you what your problems are. They'll be like, hey, you got to do this, or you should do this to fix this problem. And you kind of just have to figure out which advice do you take and which advice do you throw out the window, because they're going to give you different solutions to your problems. You have to figure out which one works best for you. And when you see the results over time, you'll be like, okay, yeah, this does work. But when you don't see it like in a week, a lot of people, they just throw the towel in and say, you know what, this doesn't work. I'm wasting money, this and that,
Yeah, and it was because of all them years in therapy that I was able to overcome the pessimistic mindset I had and actually think more optimistically, because their words of wisdom was resonating with me a lot better over time, and I was able to understand what they were saying and be able to apply it to my life and spread their wisdom to other people who were in similar circumstances than I was. And even now there are many people who don't accept the advice or try to avoid it because they, not everyone is meant to hear a lot of stuff, and some people have their times, like God always has their timing for things. And, my time for getting the help I needed has definitely passed. And, there are people who probably still need it and it isn't their time yet. But for me, I'm glad it was, because it really helped shape my future and the way I viewed things, because it helped me be able to, not let my family's negativity affect the way I see or do things in life, because I know who I am, I know how life can be, and I know the possible outcomes from the things I do in life. And, parents, they're quick to protect you, but, in life, not everything they can protect you from. And sure, I've had my unfortunes, but the thing that you can protect yourself from that your parents probably won't tell you is the way you think about things. Because parents are quick to put their fears onto you, but if you don't let them, then you start to see life a lot more colorful than the darkness they tried to see it as in your perspective, which is something that'll definitely be talked about in a later topic, which I feel the next topic we'll talk about narcissistic versus controlling parents.
We can
'Cause-
definitely do that in episode 3. We can definitely do that in episode 3, guys. We'll talk about that in the next episode because me and him both have kind of similar experiences when it comes to like origins and how we came about. We actually both met while we were juniors in high school. So we kind of were going through like similar situations as well in like high school and stuff. And then we ended up moving, like living close to each other, but now we ended up moving like in like literally like not even a block from each other. So it's kind of crazy how our journeys have been this entire year. Well, not entire year, but throughout the years, because high school is what, like 8 years ago now? Something like that.
I know 10 years ago we were freshmen.
I was gonna say we've been friends for over 10 years now. So time really does fly. It's like you don't even know who you're gonna meet in life, guys, and you're gonna be 10 years down the line and be like, wow, I can't believe I've known you for 10 plus years, you know? So definitely don't be afraid of taking opportunities, guys.
I should also note that the moving and all that was not planned. It just happened. God just made it work in the favor of us to have us end up living as close as
Yeah, it
we
was
were.
literally like coincidental, guys. I kid you not. Like he said he was moving, and I was like, no way, I'm moving too. And we like were like, oh dang, how far away are we from each other now? And literally when I said my street, he's like, no way. He's like, that's like 1 block, not even from me. I was like, huh? And literally like now we're like super close to each other. We can literally see each other like walking to and from work sometimes. Like I'll arrive home and he'll be walking. I'm like, oh, it's Josh, you know? But it's kind of crazy how life does work, guys. But honestly, I think like me and him really do keep each other disciplined sometimes. Like when I'm like about to give up on something, he'll remind me like, you can't just give up. You got to keep going. And same thing with him. Like if he's going through a tough time, I'll be like, well, we gotta figure out how to keep you motivated, how to keep you going with whatever you're trying to accomplish, because it is easy to give up. Like if you have a friend and you know, when you have like a best friend and you know so much about each other, it's so easy to keep each other going. And honestly, like we need more people to motivate each other, because so many people nowadays are so quick to just trash on each other. You know, it's like, don't trash on each other. That's what brings a lot of people like fear and like they're scared of telling people their dreams and stuff. We need more people to be open about their dreams, because when you put your dreams out in the open, it's actually possible to achieve them. And we were talking about that in the last episode, guys, how dreams do come true. But the thing is, you gotta put it out. You gotta put it out there. Like if you don't speak it into existence, it's never gonna happen, guys. And it's not easy to go about life by yourself. You definitely need other people to help you as well. Like I know I wouldn't be where I am without Josh, and vice versa. He's told me many times like the stuff that we've experienced, he didn't think he'd be able to do it alone. And you know, it's great to have other people to share those moments with. Like when we went to Canada, when we went to Japan, that was like our first time out of the country and our first time like going to Japan. Like it's great to have people that you can share your first times with, because those memories, they last forever, guys. And that's something that money can't bring you, or fame or success or any of this other stuff that people hold dear to themselves, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely helped me in more ways than I can even remember. Like, I know the biggest thing was he helped me get my license.
I was gonna say, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like,
me getting my license was definitely the biggest thing that he helped me with, as well as like experiencing the sauna for the first time.
oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, because he never really went to like a gym like that, guys. So I told him, okay, we're gonna go to the gym, we're gonna work out, and then afterwards we went to the sauna, and that was like his first time in a sauna.
That was a really fun experience, and just overall, like, if it wasn't for him, like he said, it just almost nothing would have really changed in my life, because he was like the only real friend that I kept in touch with that actually would hang out with me, because everyone else that was, you know, I met in high school and whatnot, they went their own separate ways. I mean, sure, we talked, but never hung out and if we did, it was like pure coincidentally running into each other. Nothing planned, nothing actually where you could rely on the person to pick you up or go places with them as often as I have with anyone else but him.
If you're in high school, guys, this isn't to scare you, but there are a lot of friends that you know right now that are going to end up going on their own roads, and your roads are going to go separate ways. You're going to lose a lot of friends that you have made in elementary, middle, and high school, and you'll still be able to see them on social media. They might message you every now and then, but you're not going to be like physically seeing them all the time. And you know, you need to be able to adjust to like that next step of your life, guys. And you just gotta embrace the future with open arms. You don't wanna be living in the past. The real friends that you're meant to keep and have in your life, God will keep those friends in your life, guys. I was only able to keep like 2 of my high school friends, and one of them I've known since 4th grade. Every other friend I met, like they literally like they went the wrong way. There's no hard feelings or anything. It's just that's life, you know. Some of these guys are married. Some of them have kids. Some of them, they're just doing their own thing, you know. So that's kind of like how life is, guys. And you're going to see, like after you graduate high school, if you're in high school, you're going to say, oh, dang, this person's living over here now. And oh, this person has like a relationship. And maybe in 5 years they get married and then they have kids and stuff. So yeah, we just all go our own separate ways, and we're all figuring out life like together, literally. Like I be seeing people I went to high school with on Facebook. I'm like, oh dang, so that's what this person's up to. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And you know, it's good to see how people go about living life, because we all have different like goals and dreams, and we all have different beliefs and stuff like that. It's good to like see what other people are doing and thinking and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Like, a lot of people change over the years, and so far, as far as the people I've seen that I know, you know, not everyone goes the right path, and some go on a path that you would have never thought they went on. Like, too many I can really think of have went on some really different paths that I would have not expect, and the ones I did keep close, I kind of did expect the paths they were going on, because they had that like kind of like mindset in high school. Like specifically, I had one guy that I had known since freshman year that I had classes with every year since then. He was a big car guy, and he was always like making a lot of money just being being with some traveling medical company. And
Okay.
like he was one of the only black kids that I actually got close with, because a lot of the black kids either were part of something I didn't want to be a part of, or were just too out there for me, because I was a very introverted kid. But like with this guy, he's let me in his house. He's let me play with his cats before. Like, he was one of the few people that I actually kept in touch with after high school to a close level, and vice versa with him as well. And many others, you know, none of them hang out with. That's one thing you'll learn. Once you graduate high school, everyone is like, they basically treat you like a stranger. Like, people I thought I was close with won't even acknowledge me or say hi.
Yeah, it be like that too, guys. Like, you are gonna be so shocked when you realize how fast people change on you when they realize, hey, now I'm out of school. Now I got, like, it's like they find their identity, and it's good, but it's also bad, because like you never want to forget truly where you came from. And I feel like a lot of people, when they find their true identity, they forget about their past, and they forget about the people who helped get them to become the person that they are today. And it's like, it's cool that you're experimenting with yourself and you found yourself, and you know, but it's also like, hey, if you're gonna like cut people off, just be like, hey, this isn't working. Or hey, I'll message you when I get time. I just gotta be alone right now and stuff. But you know, people don't really know how to communicate. I feel like we live in a time and an age where it's like communication's so easy, but it's also making it so much more difficult, because you really can't communicate like the way you can face to face through social media or through message. or on the phone, because that face-to-face conversation is so much, like, you can understand everything. You can see the gestures, you can see the face, you can see everything. But through like text messages, you really can't even tell the tone that the person's talking in. Like, are they shouting? Are they whispering? Are they talking in a high-pitched, low-pitched voice? Stuff like that, guys. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to actually end the video here today. So in the next episode, guys, we're going to be talking about controlling and narcissism and how to handle people in your life who might be like that. There are two big solutions, in my opinion, that like are realistic. There's really no other things that you can do except for like two choices. But we'll talk about that in the next episode, guys. To leave you guys off with something today, I actually did not write down any more notes, but I do want to leave you guys off with something today just to take away from this episode. And that's that you want to stay disciplined, but motivation will help you get to that discipline. So if you're feeling motivated to do something, if you're feeling motivated to learn how to cook or learn a new language or go to the gym or start a new skill, I want you guys to take a step today and tell yourself, how am I going to become disciplined at this? Because it's easy to buy the equipment or to like sign up to the gym and then walk out the door. How about you sign up to the gym and stay for 30 minutes and hit a workout today, if that's your goal. If you want to start a diet, instead of stopping and getting food on the way home, why don't you stop at the grocery store and buy something that you're going to need and then make the meal, as opposed to taking the easy way out and getting McDonald's. So if you feel motivated to do something different in your life today, guys, I want you guys to just take that step, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. And every time you say tomorrow, the next day comes and it never happens. You only have today, guys. So take that first step today. And when you feel like you don't want to do it after 3 weeks, tell yourself, hey, I want to be disciplined. So discipline starts the day you show up when you don't feel like you want to. Is there anything you want to leave off or leave with the people before we say goodbye to them today?
Sure. So yeah, you only live once, but don't let that saying be taken to just do anything, because anyone can go to a bar, but not anyone can go skydiving. So if you're gonna live once, I say live to the furthest you can go.
That's actually crazy, because I was thinking about skydiving. Like, as soon as you started talking, I don't know why, I just started thinking about skydiving. I was like, man, skydiving. That's actually wild that you brought that up.
Like he said, you gotta be the hardest working person in the room. The same goes for experiences in life. If you want to have some impressive stories, you gotta have some that nobody else could copy.
That's so true. AI can't replace people that are doing new things, challenging themselves, and, growing. AI can't replace people that are growing. AI is going to replace the people that are staying the same and are scared of change and don't take risks. The people who take risks, they ain't gonna be replaced. Trust me when I say that, because we're doing things that are different. An AI can make a podcast, but I can tell you right now, an AI cannot make an interesting podcast like me and Josh. It ain't gonna be the same. If you watch us and then we put two robots in the seats and we give them the same exact notes that I have and the same script that he has, not even a script anymore because you don't even look at it, but those robots are not gonna be entertaining, guys. They're not gonna talk about skydiving, because I have not seen one robot jump out of a plane to this day. And the day I do, I'll be like, yeah, but they don't feel it. They're just in the sky. They don't feel the wind. They don't feel the excitement. They don't feel adrenaline.
Yeah, they have no emotions, so they can't feel.
The day I see a robot jump out of a plane, that's the day we post my skydiving video. I'll put, you can see the emotion on my face. You can't see that on the robot. The robot's just in the sky. That looks lame compared to people jumping out of the plane. That looks cool. So that's something that I think is a good message to leave off the people with in this episode as well. So we'll see you guys next Monday for episode 3.